Hey, Teach Me Grappling, Brian Peterson here, and I'm back, guys. This is what I call street wrestling. Street wrestling, what the hell is that? Well, it's a game that I kind of made up with my high school teammate. He actually probably more or less, we both made it up. But what we're starting out with is a basic drill. We're out on the concrete, on the asphalt, and I've got my guys pummeling and then reaching for legs. This is a warm-up drill I like to do. It's basically wrestling pummeling, but you mix in with leg grabs, and that gets your partner and you used to sprawling, so that if a guy reaches for your leg, you don't just let him pick up your leg. The most simplest thing that can happen.
Yep.
Now, once we start sparring, I'll probably be doing more videos in the future about this. I've been using this game for years and years. You notice Anton there just picks him up. If you're in the over-under body lock, what we're doing right now is we're sparring, but just with simple stuff like double unders. And it looks like we're still warming up right there. Double unders. If you lock your hands double under, you've won. Common pummeling drill or little pummeling competition drill. But you can also win with an over-under, like what John has right now, if he can lift Nico, who's in the blue, up off the ground, just like Anton lifted before. So if you can't lift a guy, then over-under lock does nothing. You got to be double under, and if you can lock, that gets you a win, what I call a win. You win the game. So because they're both in the over-under, neither grappler has control. Notice right here we've got a couple guys. We've got Eddie, the taller, thinner of the two, and Eli, the bigger of the two. There's a little arm drag to a single leg. Eventually you start moving into go-behinds, another way to win. Picking up single legs is another way to win. Snap downs into front headlock is another way to win. And all these ways of winning makes it for a great way to learn. There's a double under right there. A great way to learn how to wrestle out on the street. And that way, if you guys train this drill, I promise you, you will be much, much better. And you don't, it's nice to have wrestling experience, but you notice he's digging those underhooks right there, trying to get the double unders. It's great to have wrestling experience, but even if you don't, if you train this drill, you will be significantly better than people who train in the gym and all they do is basic takedowns in the gym on a mat. When you train on the asphalt, on the concrete, and you're moving with your partner, you snap and you're pushing, you're pulling, you're not shooting to a knee like we do in wrestling and jiu-jitsu. There's a little 2-on-1, nice little arm drag attempt. Notice Anton turned and faced him. And they're training with their sneakers on. The only downside of this drill is I always tell, there's a nice go behind. I always tell people, bring your old shoes because you're going to scuff up your shoes. You definitely don't want to have your fresh kicks on. You're gonna screw them up. But this kind of drill, nice arm dragging combination, gotta go behind. That's a win. So. And it's very safe. This is safe wrestling training. You're never actually doing the full takedown. If you want to do the full takedown, you need to do that on mats. I mean, that's the only safe way to do it. But the feel that you get under your feet when you do this kind of street wrestling, this footage was actually filmed, guys, back in September of last year. So it's quite a while ago, but again, it's something that I've been doing I even do this with my high school wrestlers. So when we go on runs, we run hills, we go outdoors, we go on runs. We work this. If we're ever in a parking lot outside of the gym where we can actually train on mats, this is what I train my guys to do. And again, they're not in the lowest stance. They're standing up, they're working over-unders, underhooks, overhooks, snap downs out of the collar tie, arm drags, throw bys, single legs. When you grab a single leg, you'll see a couple of them here, I'm sure. out of this footage. There's a nice little go behind. When you see a single leg, and it teaches you to sprawl, because you do not want them to pick that leg up. If they pick that leg up, that means you might fall in the concrete. So you're going to really, really want to defend that. Now, we do have different levels. One way to play it is where if you get a single leg and you pick it up, you can just have it between the legs, and that's a win. If you want to take it to the next level, there's a single leg attempt by Anton, and then he used it to get a throw by to get that go behind on Eli. You can also go to a next level with the single legs where you get that single leg and you got to pick it up waist high, kind of like he did there. He brought it on the outside hip. There's a double leg by Tade. He's got the double leg to the body lock, and he got the lift on Nico. So you're learning to make combinations, shoot a double leg out on the asphalt, and then be able. There's an arm drag. You're learning how to square up with your opponent. So you see when they make arm drags or snap downs like that, a guy tries to trap you in the front headlock. You're gonna learn how to work your way out of that, because you don't want to get trapped. If you get snapped into a front headlock, you see that? We're going single legs, and every time there, John was looking for the front headlock. Eddie had to get his way out of the front headlock. So there's the ladies. They're snatching up the leg to try to create an opening for the pummel. Very common attack I like to teach. They're pummeling in, trying to get the double unders, attacking the legs. Sometimes you attack the leg. That makes your opponent sprawl, which may open them up for a snap down, or maybe even just a pummel to a double under attack. So sometimes you'll get a situation in this game. There's a front headlock, but you got to secure it. She really wants to secure over the arm, and there's an escape before it happened. You can add in standing submissions to this game. Guillotines. There's a front headlock versus a double leg, and you notice again. Who's got the win? Well, when the guy with the front headlock locks his hands, sprawls enough to make the double legger or the single legger release the leg and protect his balance, then he's won. But these guys, nice. That was really going at it. You notice they're getting a great workout at the same time. Awesome cardio. Combinations, reaching for legs, looking for arm drags, and never falling to the ground, which is a part of it as well. From a defensive standpoint, you want to make sure that somebody grabs your leg and picks your leg up. You make sure you don't fall down. Obviously, we're not trying to kill each other, but we don't want to fall. It's just another mental level. So when that single leg comes up, you're hopping. You're not immediately pulling guard. So if you kind of have that reaction in the gym where somebody grabs a single leg or a double leg and you kind of fall to your back, and that happens a lot in a lot of jiu-jitsu schools, even subconsciously without them even realizing it, they tend to just fall to their back to get into a grappling situation. Well, this is a really safe way to train wrestling without ever going to the ground. And then there it is, nice lift off the single leg. Any lift, if you lift your partner in the air, you've won. You've won the game. And you don't have to slam them. You just drop them right down on their feet. They learn great balance. And this is how we street wrestle. Nice little kind of throw by, getting behind their opponent. If you get behind, it's a win. Again, all the different ways to win. Any lift where you lift your opponent off their feet, controlled, that's a win. Any double under lock, that's a win. Any go behind, getting in the rear standing position, is a win. Any single leg that can be brought up waist high is a win. Any front headlock is a win. So that's pretty much, I think I detailed every one of them. It's an outstanding way to train. We only did this was back in September. Sun was out. We were having a good time, training outdoors. Beautiful weather that we have in Southern California. So nice little movement. And you notice again, Nico in the blue, he didn't fall down. He was able to reach down with his hands and post his hands. And that way he doesn't fall. You're learning to stay on your feet because you don't want to fall down. And then obviously we stop it once we get a good position. And right there, Anton's just pulling out all the moves. So you can learn a lot by training this. Hopefully you learn a lot just by even watching this video. But if any of you guys train at a gym or you're an instructor of a martial arts school, try this. Go outdoors. Try my little pummeling game, my wrestling game, street wrestling. Again, it's a really safe way to train the outdoor wrestling without getting hurt. It's a great, outstanding workout. Students love it. You can do tournaments. You can do 2 out of 3. Something I like to do is we'll go, hey, go 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5. And whoever gets to 2 first or 3 first is the winner. And then you can advance people into a championship round and then take the losers, people who lost, and put them in a consolation bracket, so to speak. Put them on the side of the room in the consolation bracket and let them battle back for 3rd place. Obviously, that takes a little understanding of how to run a tournament. If you don't know how to do that, maybe I'll talk about that on another video. So, but how to run a bracket, that's actually a good video. Anyway, again, notice pulling on the head. There's so many muscles that you're working. This is just a killer workout, and you're on your feet the whole time. I love ground grappling, but the thing is this is what's missing. It's missing a lot in so many grappling schools. And again, most of the people you see here besides Anton haven't wrestled. They're learning these techniques in class. And then now they're applying them out on a hard surface. Again, you see a front headlock there. That's a win. Slap hands, fist pump, and let's go again. So you're still working all your major moves, your duck unders, your arm drags, your shots without shooting to a knee, which is something you wouldn't want to do, your feints. You wouldn't want to do that in the street. So obviously they're not striking. This is a wrestling grappling drill. But if you want to improve, if you want to, get a little bit more reality self-defense or reality street training, this is a great way to do it. There's so many people out there that are too far in any one of those directions. And what I mean by that is all you do is train on mats indoors all the time. You may not be quite as prepared for the street as you might think. At the same time, people who try to think street all the time, they're also like a little whacked because they think that they got to train reality self-defense, poke them in the eye, kick them in the balls at all times, and train out on the street at all times. That also doesn't actually produce the best street fighter, so to speak. You want to have a good blend and a good mix. Obviously, we're never going to be working on eye pokes. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous. You're not going to train that. It's one thing to talk about it and address it in self-defense situations, but you're not going to train it. There's a nice move by Eddie on Anton. Nice little shot with a go behind. So, again, street wrestling. What else can I say, guys? I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you can learn something just from the movements. Killer workout. Remember, it will eat your shoes apart. So wear some old shoes. And get a partner and just go at it. Multiple ways to win. It gives you enough room to work many different grappling techniques, but obviously we're taking out the moves where you're actually going to take someone down. So it's a controlled way of learning a large portion of stand-up grappling. And little words about how I started doing this. Really, it started in high school with me and my buddy Juan. He was much better than me. So we used to get locked out of our wrestling room on occasion. And we loved to wrestle either in the grass or on the concrete, on the basketball courts. you know, on our asphalt basketball courts, we'd start wrestling. I mean, it was just, you know, how could you keep a teenager from wrestling? You know what I mean? Once we started learning moves and we were pretty into it, we had to do this stuff. I mean, so when the coach was late, maybe a coach was 30 minutes late to practice, we would be outside wrestling on the asphalt this way. And this is what we did. I learned so much about stand-up wrestling. And when I say stand-up wrestling, I mean not just the getting in the stance, crouching wrestling, but a little bit more Greco style. Yeah, we're not doing huge Greco throws. We're not suplexing each other. But we were learning about tie-ups. We were learning about Russian 2-on-1s. We were learning about underhooks and overhooks. And, you know, how to control our opponent. And then we quickly realized we knew when it was over. You know, when an opponent grabbed a hold of me and body locked me and lift me in the air, I knew he had me. Now, yeah, maybe I could like avoid it and maybe reverse it on the way down, but for all intents and purposes, he won. He got the better of me. If we picked up a leg and brought it up waist high, we didn't have to take the guy down with running the pipe. We knew that it was going to lead to a takedown. So we could feel how off balance. Here's a situation where you have one guy on a single and one guy on a front headlock. The guy with the front headlock, if he sprawls, then he's won. If the guy with the single leg and the other guy has a front headlock on you while you have a single leg, well, you got to lift that single leg and pop him up in the air. And that's how you win. So, again, looks like actually a different day right here. We've got some different students. Big men versus little men versus ladies. You know, all different body types, working the same drill, learning a lot about martial arts, a lot about grappling, and especially grappling out on the asphalt or the concrete. So, hope you guys enjoyed. There, we got a little girl just kind of watching. Not really watching, but pretty interesting anyway. I hope you enjoyed. I didn't get you guys a video tonight, but definitely wanted to give you guys some content. I realized I still held this footage, so I wanted to release it. That's it. Street wrestling. Go out and practice it, get better, and I'll see you guys next time with more great stuff.
Nice work. Good sprawl, go behind. Time. Nice work.